Oh, you're looking
I'm
at
not
me so
even
weird.
I'm not even gonna try to fuck up your fucking beatbox.
Oh, what's going on?
A great start as always.
Oh, this is Blazing the Scene.
Episode 6.
Episode 6. We
Upgraded
again.
My wall was getting fucked up from electrical tape.
Yeah, the electrical tape left like a sticky residue. So we upgraded 2 tacks and a whiteboard, dry erase marker.
Boom.
Boom. There we go, you know.
Off to a great start.
Quality material, lowest of budgets.
I think it was $12 at Target.
12. Keep it calm.
I know. I was balling out.
Yeah.
They had cheaper ones actually, but
you went bougie, huh?
I was like, you know what? For the podcast, for the listeners,
yeah, the
viewers, because
the only way you could have got better is corkboard.
Corkboard.
Corkboard is
that cork's gonna add an extra $10 to the price tag.
You live on the avenues, so
yeah,
you don't understand the value of a corkboard.
That's some Scottsdale. I know where you live.
And we have corkboards.
Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? We're happy. Thank you for joining us. Episode 6 underway. We are gonna get. We probably, this is a topic we'll touch on numerous amounts of times because there's nowhere to get advice from.
Yeah.
You know, like at this level. I'm a 1-year comic.
I'm a 6-month comic.
Yeah, so we're like
little babies.
Yeah, we're still young, and there's just like there's a lot of advice that new comics who are just getting started can benefit from, and
this is from a new comic.
Yeah, this is from new comics. So like
this
for
this
new
is
comics,
not like from new comics.
This is no pro tips. This is just based off of our experience in the scene for the limited amount of time that we've been doing it.
While it's still fresh and still happening daily.
Yeah, daily. I mean, I don't want to I don't think this needs to be like numbered. There's no I mean, if there is a number, there's only one, and number 1 is right. And don't
write a lot.
Yeah, when I say write a lot, don't feel like a big mistake I see some comics do is every time they come to the stage, they're trying to come with 5 minutes of brand new material that they've never practiced before, they've never done before. They're brand new to writing, so their writing is still brand new. It's weak.
Yeah,
it's weak, and so it's like
I've been doing the same jokes since I started.
Yeah,
some of the jokes that I've just now gotten to a semi-polished point,
and
that's taken 6 months of work.
And that's exactly writing is also rewriting is in that bracket. Rewrite your jokes, make them tighter, punch them up.
Sometimes you just got to scrap a whole part that you thought was funny, but you can't get to work out right.
Yeah.
And sometimes it'll come back and work in a later joke you're making.
Absolutely, yeah. So then, and then you can, or you find something new, and that's just not worth it to keep in. It's like trade out the space for the larger laugh. But writing is so important, and when I say that too, you can overwrite.
Yeah.
You can overwrite, and that's just if you're just writing new content over and over and over, you're making it harder for you to develop. You should be developing material, trying it out on stage, listening back to the audio recording, record your sets, and then figuring out how to rewrite that joke and make it better. Also while developing new material. But if you have a joke that you love the premise, it makes it you definitely want to work that joke out and do it the justice that it deserves.
You got to develop the way you say it too. It's hard to translate what you write into your actual character in person.
That's why, I say, being a new comic and not knowing really which direction you're going. You haven't developed into a comic yet. You're just. I
didn't realize it until that people told me keep trying the same jokes, and reworking them, and then now that I've done those same jokes, they've just kind of polished up on their own in a lot of ways.
Yeah, what's the excuses you hear why people Like when newer comics, like with their writing?
They want to give the crowd something new every week is what I hear a lot.
That's like the number one thing. Yeah, that's the number one thing. And it's like, if you come into this thinking, like, you fuck everybody else. Your only intentions as a new comic should be getting good. Getting your material tight so that way you can be on a booked show. Yeah. And get laughs.
You're not doing it for the open mic.
Yeah, crowd. You're not, like, so many comics, new comics, or I won't even say new comics, I'll say new people to comedy, think that their goal is to make other comics laugh. And that's how you're going to grow and move forward. But it's not, because comics laugh at way more, more fucked up stuff. Comics will laugh at stuff that a normal public audience won't.
Like, I feel like I have my jokes that are good for a comic crowd that'll make all the comics laugh, but then I know if I do them to a bigger crowd, it's gonna fuck me over.
It's gonna off-put the crowd so quick. Yeah, and then now all your jokes won't land after that because they're not on your side anymore. There's so many downsides. If you're don't do it for the comics. Don't do it for the people sitting in the back of the room.
And half of them aren't paying attention anyways because they're thinking about their sets and they've heard, if they're going to a lot of mics and they've been doing it a long time, they've heard a million shitty open mic sets from all of us.
Yeah, and in the beginning you're gonna think that you're the shit, and it's you won't realize how weak your comedy is in your structuring and your tones until you go back months later and you listen. You're like, wow, like, yeah, I've improved. And back then, like, I'm embarrassed of how I sounded. And just imagine, like,
in like a month or two, it happens.
Yeah, and then you're just thinking, like, oh, no wonder nobody wanted to listen to me. You know, like, you got to step out of your own head and be like, am I... Because when you're somebody that people want to see, they're going to make sure they see your set. So don't be worried about who sees your set. This is making your set good for a regular audience.
Yeah, and it feels good when there's some jokes I've done a million times now that people...
you say?
Yeah, you know what I mean. They're jokes I've been doing since I started that everyone's heard a million times.
Wow.
But
I wish I had as many sets in as you.
But anyway, but sometimes you're able to get them to laugh at something that they've already heard a bunch of times.
Yeah.
A bunch.
There we go.
There, I got my wording right. See, sometimes you just got to keep improving the joke as you go along.
Yeah, well,
it gets better every time.
That wasn't a joke. That was just
sometimes you got to develop a sentence.
Yeah, that's a basic sentence. Well, okay, yeah, but no, I totally get what you're saying. Jokes aside, at your expense, you know. But yeah, no, for sure.
Like, don't start podcasts with Joshua Harrison.
Yeah, because then people will now know who you are.
Yeah. But I still won't.
Also, I said
hit a lot of mics.
Hit lots of mics and record. It's gonna be. It could be gut wrenching.
Those are the ones you want to listen to.
Yeah, listening to yourself, but it pays off so much because you're like, damn, I don't not want to sound like that again on stage.
Yeah,
it's a shit. It's the hardest, but the best thing you can do for yourself. It's the hardest thing to listen to yourself, like, because I'll have where I'm like, I've done other podcasts, and it's hard for me to want to go back and listen to myself.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like, it's not that I don't want to hear the podcast. It's like, God, do I want to hear suggestions and opinions I had for an hour? You know, it's like, yeah. But I need to do that too, because being able to podcast is a whole nother thing, you know?
Like, it's a lot to take on just on top of being only 6 months into comedy.
Yeah, it's another, like, being able to talk and fill time on a podcast is a whole nother thing too. It's like hosting is different too. Try to get
different tool sets.
If there's open mics where they're offering for you to do a guest spot to host, take advantage of it at any point.
You get more time in the long run.
Yeah, and
that's what you should be worried about right now.
Hosting, hosting is like you want to be a good comic, but you also want to be an amazing host. Because that's how you're going to get, as a newer comic, that's how you're going to get booked the most, is just being a great host. People want you to host their events and shows for them. And it's more chances.
Yeah. And you get more time. That's what you should be focusing on a lot, too, is getting as much stage time as possible.
Yes. As many open mics as you can hit a week.
And make them worth it. Don't make sure you're changing. Like, do the same jokes to develop them, but don't do the same set twice. Like, change something every time. It's pointless to go to 10 mics a week if you're not going with, like, a goal.
Such a great
something
I'm so glad
to work on
this way. Yeah. If you are telling a joke that is not funny and you keep telling that same joke with no punchlines in it, it's not going to get funny just repeating it over and over. You have to write in the punchlines. You have to like...
Every mic needs to have a purpose. Like, I'll have some open mics where it's just one tag on a joke. And I'm like, all right, this is my goal tonight. I just want to get that tag in, see how it works on that joke. The other 4.5 minutes are just like my usual stuff.
Yeah, let's just touch up on this joke to make sure that I'm fresh and crisp on it. Maybe try my face this way or
change my body language.
Be
less robotic.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, just trying to sound like it's your first time saying it when it's not.
Yeah,
and having it just down. But there's also what I want to say. It was along those lines.
Man.
Yeah.
Sounds like it would have been great.
It would have. But, they just legalized mushrooms in Colorado, so...
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So, cheers to them, we were talking about, so the...
his main mics,
setup, constantly developing. Set up some punchlines. Mics hit.
Get more than just the jokes.
Yeah, that's what it was. I want, like, get strategic with your mics, too. Like only, depending where you live, in Phoenix here, we have a lot in downtown area, North Phoenix, and in the East Valley, there's a bunch of mics.
Yeah.
But, sometimes, like, the most I've hit is 4 mics in a night out here. And I had to be very strategic, and it's hard. Like,
another thing you get caught up in is that it's fun hanging out at open mics. You'll get caught up hanging out with people when at one mic when you could have hit 3 mics, just getting in as quick as you can, do your set, and then get out.
Yeah. No, I try to...
There definitely are some mics, though, that
there's mics I genuinely enjoy hanging out at, but it's also like sometimes I'm like, I gotta get out of here. I gotta go right.
Yeah.
Like, this is cool. I like you guys.
It's easy to get caught up in the fun and forget that we have an end goal here.
Yeah, and it's like it's not like I don't like people or like the
I love everyone at the comedy scene. Everyone's fun to hang out with.
Yeah, it's a great scene. Yeah, it's a great scene, but it's like I also need time to develop too, and it's not development is not just on the stage; it's also off the stage with writing. Shout out to Chappelle Lacey for fucking pounding that into my head. But yeah, that's like a thing I'm trying to get better at is to not worry. Yeah, don't. Also, new comics. Don't. Okay, this is something I came in and I was like, okay, this is weird. And then now that I've been doing it a little while, don't come in and expect everybody to want to be your friend. Like, right from the jump start, just because you're doing comedy. Because there's a lot of senior comics that have been doing this for a while, and they don't want to talk to you until you essentially like proving yourself. Yeah. And it's not like
I've only been doing it 6 months, and I've seen people start for a week or two and then quit.
Yeah. It's not like a rite of passage in any sense, like in any form or way at all. It's just people are in and out so much, and if you just like putting energy into meeting people that aren't even going to stick around.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's just easier to just let people kind of weed themselves out. And anybody who's been doing it for a while, eventually you'll get recognized by the rest of the scene. But you got to be out grinding.
Get recognized by your material.
Yeah. Don't worry about who sees you when, because then people talk, and the right people will see you when they need to see you. Just focus on being out there and getting your material good.
It's almost worse for someone that's really been doing it a long time to see you when you're not ready to be seen by them. Yeah. That first impression.
Yeah, first impression. Oh, this guy sucks. He's new.
You could be great a couple months later, or it could have just been an off night.
And they might not see you for another 8 months. Just that's just how the paths cross, and that's for 8 months. They just think, oh, that guy is not good.
Yeah.
Or that girl, it's like,
I'm sure I left a lot of bad impressions starting out with certain people.
Why?
I had some bad sets.
Okay.
We all had bad sets.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. But I mean, it's expected. That's why there's I've seen tons of people start and quit, come back.
You should be having bad sets.
Yeah.
That's how you figure out what you need to work on.
Let's see. So we covered. This is just the most essential stuff is like riding and hitting open mics. Like
at this stage,
if you just hit one mic,
that should be all we're worried about.
If you hit one mic a week, that's what your development will be. One mic a week, and it's going to be a very slow development. It's hard when you're in a relationship, but I mean, if you get out, if you put enough energy into comedy and you recognize everything that it gets back, you'll grow so much quicker. Be accepting of critiques of
don't ever get upset when someone gives you advice after a set. Even if you thought you had an amazing set and the first thing someone else says to you is like, hey, you should have done this way.
Yeah.
Like, your first instinct is like, no, I just had a great set, but that's what you need to be taking away from every set is what you did wrong.
Yeah, that's the fastest way to grow. Even when it went great, there was something that you missed that you could have done better. And
there's always something you did wrong.
Yeah. Accept critiques. If somebody tells you that you're doing something and it's hacky, you're new to comedy. Don't question them. Nobody's going to tell you for no reason. People are telling you because they don't want you to sound hacky. Yeah, audiences will recognize when you're hacky as well. It's not just comics. People know hack when they hear it. So you got to So if someone gives you that advice,
no comic that's been doing it for years is giving you advice because they're hating on you. They don't hate on an open micer.
There's no reason for somebody to bring you down. Like, you're already at the bottom level. Like, you just decided to do comedy. They already know it couldn't be any worse. Take critiques. Constructive criticism is gonna help. Don't steal jokes.
Yeah,
if somebody
that's obvious.
You're a newer comic, it's bound to happen that you and somebody else had the same thought. There's no way that all of my jokes I'm the only person who's ever thought them. There's somebody else who has thought them, but maybe they're just not a comedian, so they didn't put it into words. But somebody else has had my thoughts. Same with your material. Somebody else, it could be anywhere else in the world, somebody else has already thought of a version of that joke, for sure. So don't take it, like, if somebody...
Dig deeper into your joke.
Dig deeper. Make it as personal to you as possible. It's not like the same exact thing can't happen to two different people at two different times.
That's another thing. Write from your personal experiences and personal life. That way, it's impossible for them to steal your joke. It's your life.
And if you and somebody else have the same joke, drop it. Start a new joke. You know, you got time to write. You're brand new. You have thoughts that you should be having thoughts flowing. You should be writing as often as possible. So don't it's just, oh well. It's a oh fucking well and move on.
Yeah.
You know, just write more material. It doesn't matter. But don't steal other people's material either.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Don't steal. I think that's just an obvious.
Yeah, don't. Yeah. Enough people don't hear that. You need experience to figure out what your style's going to be. So get that experience to let you personally develop your style. Don't try to steal somebody else's style.
Yeah.
You know, because you're not funny at first. That's why people quit, because they can't tough out pushing through that beginning.
Yeah.
It's just it's you're in the mud. You're in the mud. It's can you get out of it?
We're still in the mud.
Yeah. Yeah. Quicksand.
Yeah. Yeah. Just focus on writing and hitting mics should be all any of us are really worried about at 6 months to a year.
Yeah. We didn't even scratch the surface.
Yeah, there's so much.
Yeah, but
you probably shouldn't start a podcast this quick but we're trying to grow to.
Yeah,
we're at open mic stage of podcasting.
You know, but it's because we wanted to document our growth too.
So we could put out videos like this.
So why document it and not share it with everybody? But this is just things that we've learned as new comics. You got any shows coming up?
I don't have any right now or this week. I have a couple weeks off with no book stuff, and then towards the end of May. What do you got going on?
I was wondering.
We'll start with you.
Yeah, the search wasn't worth it. Tonight I'll be performing. I'll be hosting it Off the Cuff with Olivia Grace. It's going to be a dope show. We have. She's from LA. She's been on the roast with Comedy Central.
Oh yeah,
she's
got a good show.
Tons of TV cred. She's a beast. Local all stars. Anwar Newton and Matt Micheletti. So it'll be a dope show. And there's I'm awful. I gotta figure his name. It's
Damn.
Yeah, I'll figure. That's why I need to go get ready for the show, so that way I don't forget these things. But we really appreciate you guys chiming in.
Oh yeah, but my shows.
Oh yeah. Oh, you found them.
May 22nd, I'll be at the Lounge. May 24th, I'll be at Toso's Bar and Grill.
No, we can get caught up on the rest then.
Yeah.
Yeah. So next up, you can see in May.
Yeah, towards the end of May, I have some shows.
Yeah.
Nothing this week. But I'm letting you know ahead of time.
All right, cool. We appreciate you guys coming in and checking us out again here at Blazing the Scene Podcast.
Always great, always fun, always low budget.
Yeah, and we love that you keep coming back to check us out. We need and appreciate your support so much. Subscribe, like,
share if you want.
Share, please. Yeah, share. Where could they find you at?
You can find me at Dustin Cade on everything.
Okay, and I am at Joshua_H Comedy.
Awesome. We've been Blazing Scene.
Blazing Scene. Thank
Peace.
you. Episode 6.